stop you when you're speaking. You said that the public school system
pipeline to prison.
Pipelines black people black children to prison.
Mm-hmm.
What component of the public school system do you think is the most damaging that leads to that?
So this is really important, and I'm glad you asked me this question. So currently right now in America, 40% of students can't pass a basic literacy exam. Within inner city communities, that's 70%.
That's true, because the CAPT exam, I don't know if did you take that when you were in Connecticut?
Oh, yes, I did.
Yeah. Half my class failed it.
Okay. So they can't pass a basic literacy exam.
Yeah.
So they created the public education system for that very reason, to slowly dumb people down, right? And the reason why you want to dumb people down, the reason why you want to reverse education, it's actually the Department of Non-Education, is because educated minds can be enslaved. It's the reason why we had slave codes. It's the reason why they were not allowed legally to teach black people how to read when they were slaves, right? And that was such a severe law that if you were a white person in America and you were caught teaching a slave how to read, they punished you too, right? And so the design of how to enslave people, how it works, how you can do that, has already existed. Now they're just modernizing it, right? And so they're giving you a fake education. Actually, what they're doing is they're emotionally engineering you, which is why we talk about, like, oh, believing in you're a victim, all this stuff. Because then whenever they want to press a button and get you to go after somebody, white man, rich man, you'll do it. Because you're not educated about why you're in that circumstance. You don't understand how economics works,
It's
right?
divisive.
Yeah, you don't understand economics works. All you understand is you have no money and he has money, right? And so when they say, oh, go out and do our bidding and scream, you don't even know who is controlling your plantation. You don't even understand who the plantation supervisor is. You're just warring. You're a bunch of slaves that are warring. And the other reason is to slowly erase history. It is stunning to me how little we know about history, how little Americans know, how little Christians know about their history. I mean, once you become awake to everything, you realize that actually what's happening is just holy wars. Holy wars. Everything actually really does trace right back to religion, and the battle for earth. But that is another reason. It's because then they can edit history or no history. You're living in ever-present. You know, you're just in an ever-present. You have no idea what's happened and how you got here. Black Americans thinking LBJ is a hero, vowedly racist man. Well, they own the textbooks. You know, he who can print the textbooks is king. Right? This is what happened to you. This is what happened during World War I. This is what happened during World War II. This is the bad guy. This is the good guy. This is all you need to remember. LBJ signed the Civil Rights Act. That is true.
Lyndon B. Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also completely out of context.
Yeah.
The decades in the Senate voted against every single measure that would have given blacks any freedom. He was an avowed racist. He said, I will have those N-words, hard R, voting Democrat for the next 200 years. He signed the Great Society Act along with it to enslave black Americans to the Democrat plantation. And he was forced to sign the Civil Rights Act because of the America was just on fire. You know, JFK had just died. There was riots. There was protesting. Too much was happening. And they were like, this you have to get done. He did it begrudgingly. But they don't tell you any of that. They just say, he signed it, right?
Not to mention he forced a bunch of military people on the U.S.'s liberty to sign a non-disclosure, not talk about them being attacked by a certain place.
He also, I just learned this actually over the PBD podcast, intentionally drafted black men to Vietnam. And so he just was so racist, and yet black Americans think, yay, that's when we got our freedom. Nope, that's actually when we were enslaved, re-enslaved.
He wanted Kennedy dead. They never got along either.
Yeah.
He didn't like Robert F. Kennedy either.
Wow.
See, and this is the thing, like, no one talks about this stuff in history books whatsoever. No one knows
Not
this
in
stuff.
school, at least.
But hell no. They would never tell you this about Lyndon B. Johnson, but they...
We just don't know who shot JFK.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, man.
Candace knows what's up, man.
Candace knows what's the buzz, man.
JFK was like, I'm going to shatter the CIA and throw him into the wind, and then he ends up dead, and you're like, I don't know. The CIA just doesn't know who did it. I don't know.
Damn, they fucking know.
They know.
You know, Allen Dulles, the original CIA director, didn't like Kennedy. Kennedy had a lot of enemies.
Yeah, we need a Rumble-only episode with Candace. Go really deep into this, man. You can't say it on YouTube, but hey,
man.
it's funny.
I say it on my show, and I'm on YouTube. I mean, I just don't care. I mean, these people are criminals. It's a criminal enterprise that's running the country, and they're using tactics of blackmail. Everyone can see it now. I mean, the Diddy lawsuit, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, it's all the same. This is how they've been able to control people. Did you guys read through that Diddy lawsuit?
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts. I know we've been looking at it. I know you've been doing a deep dive.
Everyone's attacking Diddy from all fronts, literally.
Yeah,
like
it's crazy. What's your thoughts?
What are your thoughts? I mean, if the person, like, listen, anybody can file a lawsuit and it can be frivolous. With the pictures, the photos, the thing that he showed saying I was in next door in the bathroom and he's allegedly protect me, YouTube, you know, that he Diddy and his son shot someone, and then like this is the guy that you called to clean it up, and then he like had the photos of obviously the shooting took place inside, and then he says this guy comes, he gets the LAPD to come and write a fake report, and the LAPD said that the person was shot outside in a drive-by, and then he showed how the news reported on it and said, oh, drive-by shooting at a recording studio. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like absolutely crazy. And I mean, then you realize that that person that you're supposed to call was the same person that was there, one of the only people there when Michael Jackson died. Like, scary stuff.
Oh yeah.
Scary stuff, you know? And it rings exactly like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, where you understand that they're getting, this person is alleging that you drug people, you know, you get invited to these parties and you invite underage girls that you know are underage, you invite guys, you groom them for homosexuality.
Freak-offs.
And then, yeah, freak-offs, as he called them, and then get them on camera doing this stuff, and then you own the person. And I'm like, that makes sense to me. It really does make sense to me because
Compromise and control.
yes, because I'm like, what on earth is even being sold to Black America right now? This isn't even our music. And like, who's controlling that? Like, who's making them produce this kind of filth and putting it out there? So it's interesting. It's definitely something worth following.
I always wondered though, like, what would be, I guess maybe to control them from a musical standpoint. Hey, I own the masters, I own whatever it may be. Because I mean, we know why Epstein did it, right? Epstein did it. We know he was Mossad. It is what it is, right? He was intel for a certain nation. But with Diddy, it's like, all right, you already got Bad Boy. You're already making a bunch of money. You've been doing this for a very long time. Is there really a need to be doing this? But I guess at that point, it's like, oh, I get all the girls I want. I have all the money that I want. Let me just explore new things.
Well, don't forget the documents also said, like, heavily implied that he was having a relationship with the CEO of Universal, Lucien Grange.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's pretty scary stuff. That's all I'm saying. So
His partner, Clyde
they
Davis.
weren't saying that like Diddy was at the top.
Yep.
He was saying that all of the execs were in on it and were sanctioning Diddy to do this. Like Diddy's kind of
Middleman?
yeah, he's the middleman,
Yep.
so to speak.
He's
if
the
those
token
documents
black.
are true,
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
Yep.
exactly. And
Clive Davis was involved as well.
and now
Yeah.
we're unearthing everything. Now it's like, okay, let's revisit what Michael Jackson was saying. Let's revisit what a bunch of people in the industry have been coming out saying, that there's like some sort of a ring that's happening. But every time those people speak out, you're wacko Jacko, you're crazy Kanye, you're this. It gets the full
Kanye talked about
effort
this a while
smear
ago.
thing.
He mentioned it.
He did. And the thing that was crazy at that time was that Kanye showed a text that he had received from that Harley Pasternak, right? The media didn't even report on this. That Harley Pasternak like wrote to him, if you don't do this, I'll put you back into like a psych ward, drug you up, and take your kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Media didn't even care about that, you know? So it's now everybody's kind of revisiting the things that have been said by a lot of artists and wondering what's really happening in Hollywood. It's very scary.
I believe Meek Mill, man. I think he's innocent. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But
Speaking of Kanye, you and Kanye are good friends. You guys went viral with the White Lives Matter shirts, which, it amazes me how that caused so much controversy, because it's like, wait, is there an issue with saying White Lives Matter too?
That was the point.
Like, what the hell? And the fact that you guys went viral for that
something's wrong.
is crazy to me. But again, we live in a wild world where no one's life matters unless you're black, apparently.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about how that came? Well, how you guys became friends, and then how that came about with the T-shirts?
So I'm a person, I believe in frequencies. I think that things happen in your life, and it's whatever you're channeling. So just a funny backstory. I grew up listening to Kanye's music, and leading up to Kanye tweeting me, I was listening every day to, why can I never remember the name of a freaking song? The one,
Which album?
Which album?
I can never remember the name of a song. It's a freaking one that he, FSNL and the whole cast. Tell him Yeezy said you can kiss my whole. More specifically, my asshole. I'm an asshole. You know what I'm talking about. He was after he did the Taylor thing, and they were like, "You're canceled," and he just came back with a fire song. My
They're
Beautiful
gonna
Dark
get it in the
Twisted Fantasy. Twisted Fantasy is the. But what's the song called? It's gonna drive
Power?
me crazy. Power.
Power?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Bam.
Hey!
Yeah, literally Power.
Okay.
That song, forget it. That is that's my anthem, honestly. Anyway, so I was every day just listening to this song, like running on a treadmill, like running like 5 miles a day, just like getting on my like F what the world thinks, because that's what that song does to you. It's like, forget what everybody is saying. you be you and don't apologize for being you. And I was explaining this at the time I was working with Charlie Kirk, and he didn't even know who Kanye was. It was crazy. I can't believe he even asked me that question. And I'm playing this music for him. So Charlie starts listening to Kanye's song, and I started talking about Kanye when I met Nigel Farage and somebody that worked with him named Dan. And I just remember sitting there and at my house after all of this, the months leading up to this, and Dan sends me a screenshot, and it's like Kanye's account, and it's like, I love the way Candace Owens thinks. And I thought, is this like British humor? Are you being funny? Because I just said to you like how much I love Kanye and like how I listen to a song every day and da-da-da. And I was like, this can't be real.
Yeah.
And then I like go and check, and he just tweeted, I love the way Candace Owens thinks. Wild. It was just crazy. It was just, the energy of that was insane leading up to the moment. And I was so excited because his music got me through a lot in life, and his music inspired me to take a chance on myself, the song Power directly inspired me to take a chance on myself. And so we met up in LA. I then tweeted back like, let's meet up, super like, like, well, actually, I think I actually literally cried.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
It was just, think about that. Every morning you're listening to this song. You have no idea. He's not involved in politics at all. It inspires you to get in politics. And then this person just tweets. He
was more low key with it back then.
It was wild. Yeah. And then, so we met up and we became friends, and that's that. And then the White Lives Matter stuff, it totally was his idea. You never know what Kanye's cooking up. I call it a Kanye carpet ride. You just, when you're with him, you don't know what he's thinking, how it's like mad scientist.
Yeah.
And
genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard from multiple people that like he'll be doing 4 things at once. Like he'll have like his music people there, his sneaker people there, his clothing people here, blah, 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 and they'll all be in the same place. And he'll work in one station for like 10, 20 minutes, then he'll go and do something else. And he just does that the whole time, and he goes around. And he's just like, coming up with ideas.
That's smart.
Was he doing that even back then?
It's just, you're just like, I don't know what's happening or what's with this person. And he'll be like, you should stand here, or like, let me photograph your outfit. I like it. It's inspiring. Just, you can't even explain it. And then he was just like, I really need you to come to Paris. Doesn't tell me why. Like, I think, he's doing his clothing line. Doesn't tell me why at all. And then when I walked in and we jumped on a plane and went over there, he just had the shirt and was just like, oh. And I instantly understood it, obviously, because this is the whole point. You keep patronizing Black Lives Matter. And then when people say, like, what about other people? You're like, it's implied that white lives matter. So then this shirt is not going to bother you at all, right?
But
at all. If we rock the shirt, because you're going to be like, yeah, of course white lives matter.
Yeah.
People were bothered by that shirt. Of
course.
Were very bothered by that shirt, right? So it proved a point in a very artistic Kanye, brilliant way.
Isn't it funny though, whenever someone's like a creator or has like a change of like, I want to say the game itself, they call them crazy, a maniac, something's wrong with you, you're insane. But these people are setting trends where like, they ask the question, why is this happening? Why not this way? And they always ask the question, why? But they call them crazy.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of the times it's sad because it takes somebody dying for you to realize how brilliant they are and what they actually brought to you. And it shouldn't happen like that. We should be able to respect these people when they're alive and not like in the legacy where it's like, oh, it was so great. I know we all like jumped on the person and called them this and canceled them and did all that. But now in the retrospect, we really loved that person,
And he predicted a lot of things that he was right about. People talk shit, and he was right about a lot of things. Because they'll say, they might say, that's anti-Semitic, or we don't like this, we're racist, or some other bullshit. But it's like, was he wrong?
I'll say this, man.
I'll wait.
Well, hold on. Number one, what? Vultures.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Man.
Number one.
I will say this. So, you did a documentary